They did the zoo. They went. I just have to remember, shut up, shut up, shut up! What's going on, Ripplers? Hey, welcome to this month's Good Question email. Video? Email. Video? Yep. Yeah, this is video. All right, let's get into it. This month, we've been talking about grave mistakes that you make when it comes to connecting. And I had the most excellent question posed recently to me by a Rippler who said, I shot myself in the foot. Literally or figuratively. Apparently, they had been given a great introduction. I'm going to set the stage for you. They've been given a great introduction. They got a conversation scheduled, and they actually moved it to a Zoom, so there was going to be video involved. They were pumped, they were excited, they were super ready for it. Had a list, all the things they wanted to talk about, and they did the Zoom. And they went, this connection, who it was made or suggested by a mutual friend, mutual business friend, that they needed to get to know one another. This happened to be someone that this Rippler really wanted to know because there was really an opportunity to do some business together. And they talked for 20 minutes straight about themselves, about their business. They went down their list. They were, they'd spent like a day preparing for this Zoom, right? And they're just like, that's what I call verbal diarrhea. So I'm setting the stage for you because they're like, how do I come back from that? I made a grave mistake when connecting. Let me tell you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did shoot yourself in the foot. 2 barrels. My response is, I don't know if you can come back from it. First and foremost, it's going to take that other person to give you a second shot at redemption. But here's what you do. I was so prepared. I was so excited. And I was so ready for our call that I made a grave mistake. Grave mistake. I was so committed to getting everything out that I wanted to that I never gave you an opportunity to even really talk. And I could tell based on how we ended that conversation that you were like, well, thank you so much. That was really nice. I'm glad we got some time together. Please never call me again. That's probably how it went in their mind. And can you recover that? I don't know. What you can do is say, look, I screwed up. I effed up. Maybe don't use the F-bomb. Unless you're really committed. I mean, some people are. Some people, they sew that in like a gold bullion to a conversation. My wife would probably say that about me. But you can just say what it is. I was so excited and so prepared for our call that by the time we hung up, I realized, oh my gosh, that was not a conversation. That was me talking at you. That was me sharing, my life story or, everything about my company or blah, blah, blah. Listen, it happens. I've done it. Actually, I found myself in this exact circumstance recently. Somebody asked me a question about something that was going on, and I just happened to be consumed with that piece, right? And before I knew it, I had talked for 10 minutes without even taking a breath. It happens, even to the Ripple Man. All you can do is go back hat in hand and say, look, I am so sorry. I do have the ability to keep my mouth shut. I do have the ability to shut up and listen. I do have the ability to ask good questions because I want to get to know you, or I want to find ways that I can explore how to help you or whatever. But could I ask you for a second chance? There's a high probability you'll be like, swing and a miss, because they'll be like, yeah, you had your chance, buddy. No way, not going to happen. But there's also another chance that they'll be like, yeah, you did shit the bed. You shit it so bad that we had to burn the mattress. But we have a new one. That seems weird though. Mattress. The connotation there is probably not a good, that's not a good example, Steve. But let's just go with it. I'll give you another chance. Just don't jump all over it, be respectful of it. New sheets and all. But if you really are truly committed to get to know me and you recognize that you made a grave mistake in your first attempt to connect with me you might get lucky and they might give you a second chance. In the instance where I found myself having my own verbal diarrhea episode, there is no Pepto-Bismol cure for that. No Imodium AD for that. Maybe I should invent that because I see it happen in so many conversations. This is not a unique problem, all right? But what I would say is what I did is I went back and I sent an email and I said, I apologize. I realized once you asked me that question, I was like off to the races. I had temporary insanity. I was blinded by the light. And I did not ask you about what's going on in your world. I spent way too much time talking, and I am so sorry. I lay bare my heartfelt apologies and ask for a second chance. I got a little bit of a door open there, and we'll see how it goes the next time. I just have to remember, shut up, shut up, shut up, and maybe it'll be better. But for you, I think that the best thing you can do is just call it out. Say it. Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. And then buy their lunch if they agree. Say, look, whatever it takes, coffee, lunch, very expensive steak dinner, give me an opportunity to come and get to know you, and I will. I'm here for you. Give it a try, see what happens. And I bet you're going to have a much better outcome, and they're going to have a much different opinion of you. And if nothing else, they won't think you are just a overinflated verbal diarrhea spewer of epic proportions. So you might just save your brand, your personal or your professional brand, and you might prevent them from going back to the person that connected you and being like, what the frick did you do? Why did you make me talk to that guy or that gal? Because they just talked the whole time. It was very uncomfortable. Give it a try, and you might have a better outcome. Great question. That wasn't a good question. That was a great question. Can I recover from it? Only time will tell. How you show up, how authentic you are, and how contrite you are, and how much you acknowledge that you were a blowhard, verbal diarrhea spewer. Maybe even using that term. It sounds a little disgusting, but so is your behavior. Don't take it personal if they say no. Just move on. But you might want to go back and tell your buddy that connected you, I sort of screwed up. I effed up. I'm sorry. Please don't hold it against me. And they probably won't. Hope that helps. Ripple on. Peace out.